Hi, welcome to FIN539 Investment Analysis for Summer 2018. This is a video syllabus where I'm going to give you a heads up on how to get started with this course and how to organize your work and the best way to approach completion of this course. The first thing you should do to get started is read over announcements. And the first announcement I have is about getting started where you're watching this current video. Second thing you should do is read over the syllabus and then purchase the textbook. So I'm using the 12th edition of the textbook where you could cut and paste this link here and that will bring you over to this VitaSource website where you can get a 90-day rental for about $53.63. So this is where you can easily order an online edition of the book. You can get a physical book through Amazon.com if you want, but make sure you order ahead of time. It could take some time for the books to be delivered. Okay, so really that's the first two things you should do. Read over the syllabus and then start early and either buy the ebook or record or purchase the physical book before the class starts. Once the class starts, we're going to be doing a stock trading simulation. So I do suggest watching this video up on Peter Lynch and maybe even reading his book, One Up on Wall Street, which gives you advice on how to pick stocks. Because the stock trading simulation is going to be all about picking stocks. So read over these instructions. I have two additional videos down here about how to get started with this stock trading simulation. In these videos, they're older videos I recorded for other classes. So if they mention any due dates or any assignments or anything that doesn't make sense, it's because it's for a different class. Just focus on the mechanics of how to use this simulation to buy and sell stocks. So once you click on this, it'll bring you over to MarketWatch. So MarketWatch, you want to sign up for MarketWatch. So you click sign up, and then it's a short registration to complete. Once you complete the registration, then you can log in to join the game. Now, so for example, if I log in, I have my login already set, so I sign in. So I'm already registered, and then I would search for the game. Actually, this is the game, FIN539 2018, and you would just, I'm already joined, but there'll be a button here where it's a join game, and then once you're in the game, you can view your portfolio. Currently I have nothing in my portfolio. You can view the class rankings and the settings. So if I did want to trade a symbol, say I wanted to buy AT&T, I can just type in the company name. And type in the company name, then the company will be listed. I could click on trade. I can select the number of shares I want. I can make a day order or good to cancel. And then I click on submit order. And just give me a warning that it's not going to trade until tomorrow because the market is currently closed. And I get back to my portfolio, and then I could trade another stock if I wish. So I can type in, as you start typing in the name, it searches for possible companies to trade, and I can buy some shares of this stock, submit my order, and back to my portfolio. Then once the stocks have been purchased, they'll be in my portfolio, and once other students have signed up, you can click on rankings and you can see how you're doing in relationship to other students in the class. Okay. Let's get back over here. So this would be the best way. Now the value of this assignment is 10 points, and I want you to make 10 trades a week for the 6 weeks this class is in operation. So a total of 60 trades. And the student who has the highest amount of return will get 1 point of extra credit on the class. So this is the class we're joining, FIN539 2018. And there is a password. It's FIN539, and it's case sensitive, which means make sure it's uppercase when you enter the password to join the game. And then you can watch these videos if you want some more ideas about how to trade stocks and the mechanics of this stock trading simulation, or Also watch this video about trading stocks. What stock gives you good tips on how to buy stocks and and it's from Peter Lynch, so you might want to read his book over. Not required, but it could be interesting reading. Okay, continuing on with the announcements, I give you the class overview. So for each week, I outline the chapters that we'll be covering each week. Now there'll be 2 exams, exam 1 at the end of week 3 and exam 2 at the end of week 6. Both are multiple choice exams, and exam 1 is going to cover chapters 1 through 5, and exam 2 will cover these chapters listed here. I also give you weekly tasks to complete. So for each week, I outline the videos you should be watching. I suggest you complete the homework, make your trades for the stock market, and each week there might be a different thing to work on for our industry project. So these are all 6 weeks laid out, so you know exactly what videos to watch and what assignments will be expected you for each week moving through the course. Okay, so those are the announcements. Let's get back up to the top of the page. The syllabus, I suggest you read the syllabus over entirely. The syllabus will give you a good understanding about what this course is about, the learning objectives, the course expectations, our methodology, what our learning goals are, your responsibilities as a student. The grading, test 1 and 2 are 15 points each. The stock trading simulation is 10 points. Homework is 30 points. The stock industry analysis report is 30 points for a total of 100 points. And there are no makeups or late assignments accepted. So make sure that unless you have a documented medical or legal or sports related reason for not being able to make the exam or homework, that you contact me with that before the assignment is due. And these are just how the points will translate into a letter grade. And again, I'm just putting the class schedule here and the rest of the syllabus. So please take time to read over the syllabus thoroughly. You're going to be responsible for all the information inside of it. If you go to course documents, this is where I have the PowerPoints for the course that you can download by clicking on each PowerPoint for each chapter we're covering. I have the homework solutions. So right now you won't see any solutions, but once the homework has the due date is passed, the solution to the homework will appear, so that way you can review your homework and see how I solved it compared to what you did if you wanted just to double check your homework. And also the third folder will be the industry analysis, instructions, and examples, where in here I have plenty of files that give you example stock analysis reports and other example templates that we'll be working with. So we have a stock Excel database example here, and then I have templates of the stock analysis paper template, how to write a stock research report. So plenty of things in here to help you with the research project that we're going to be working on. So let's talk more about that research project through the assignments button. So I go to assignments here, and the first assignment for week 1 is a homework assignment that's going to be based on the chapter. So here I'll give you the page number and the exercises to work with, and when we're working with the textbook, keep in mind that there are a couple different assignments. So in the book there might be something called questions. Those are actual questions. And then there's another part where it's called calculation problems and then spreadsheet problems. So those are the 3 areas where 3 different types of problem groups: spreadsheet, computational, and questions. So just keep that in mind. When here I'm just looking for complete spreadsheet exercises. Other homeworks, I may ask you to complete computational problems or spreadsheet exercises, and on the one or so occasion I'll say complete questions. So make sure you understand there's a difference between questions, problems, and computational problems. So just keep that in mind when you're doing the homework. Okay, so for week 1, I give you the specific homework to complete. And what you're going to do is you're going to go to the textbook, to the page number, look at the exercises and the homework problems, like 2.1, 2.2, 2.3 on page 49 for chapter 2. And then you're going to put together, use the Excel spreadsheet to submit your work. So I want you to complete the work in Excel spreadsheet for each week. Now when you open up a spreadsheet, you'll have tabs down here. So you could kind of relabel them. This could be the chapter 1. Chapter 2, Chapter 3. So you can use as many of these tabs as you need. And then, so if you're answering questions, you can go to Insert Text Box. And you can put a text box in here, and you can answer, the question one by one, and you can put in, just type in your answer like it was a word processor. If you're doing a computational problem, then you could type out the computational problem in here, and then you save. Then you would go and save your file. So then once you save it, click on Week 1 homework, and then browse my computer, attach your file, and finally you click on Submit to submit your homework to me. So because everything's electronic, since this is an online class, so for Week 1, you would complete these assignments in one spreadsheet book and attach that one spreadsheet file to Week 1 to complete the homework. Okay, there's our stock trading simulation is also an assignment worth 10 points. And then we have our industry assignments. So our industry assignments can be broken up to a couple of steps. So the first step is to pick an industry. So I put a video here that you can watch. Click on this video, and this video will go over how to complete this assignment. So what's nice about this link is that it's embedded. Now, this is a video. So you can see how this is going to be actually based on a previous year. So some of these instructions on how to complete the industry assignment, they may be based on a video I made last year. So just ignore if there's any conflicting due dates in these videos. Your due date is always listed here on your assignment. So this video was probably recorded last year, and it's the same exact instructions, but it's just keep in mind that it's a year old. So due dates may have changed. If you see a green Blackboard screen come up, that was from a different class. But the video is pretty much going to be the same instructions you need to follow as far as what you need to do. And it's very simple. You pick 10 stocks in the industry, and you put that together, and you submit that to me same way. You can put it in a spreadsheet or a Word document, and browse my computer and submit. And for this one, you can even just do write submission. You can just kind of cut and paste those 10 industry companies together, because you need to pick an industry, because we're gonna analyze the industry, then analyze the stock. So this is the first part, is to pick an industry or sector for your research report. Then we go on to Week 2. So Week 2 is going to be chapters 4, 5, and 6. And again, you do the same thing. You open up Excel, and using one workbook with multiple worksheets here, you create your answers using multiple worksheets. So you only attach one file. That's the whole point of using those multiple worksheets. And you answer these questions completely by the 23rd and attach your file. The second step to our industry project is I'm going to expect you to complete a stock Excel database. So again, I have a PDF example, and I have a video on how to do this. So this is sort of, I give you an actual physical PDF that shows you, okay, this is an example of what it should look like. This is an industry of just 4 companies. Yours is going to have 10 or possibly more. So this is kind of basically what it should look like. It doesn't have to exactly be these colors or this layout, but this is the information I want to see. And then this video will describe, again, how to do that step by step. And we have Week 3 homework, Week 4, and then finally the first draft of the industry paper. So again, there's a video to explain how to put this industry paper together, and I have an example student report and a template to use. So I give you a template to show you how to write the report, an example of a student who wrote the report, and a video describing how to write the report. Okay, and then of course we have the Week 5 homework, and then finally in Week 6 we have the final draft of the stock industry report. So when you do your first draft, I will give you feedback saying, this is kind of the grade you get based on this level of effort, and some things you should do to improve it. You incorporate those improvements, and then you get a second chance to resubmit it for a final grade. And that rounds up all the homework for the class and the assignments. And of course, we have our discussion board here. And this is if you have any questions about the class, you can click here and you may create a thread. You might see, you can click on subscribe to subscribe to this and class questions. Ask your questions here. You can click on reply, or you can create a new thread that would be a new class question. So this is just sort of a forum where we can keep in contact. If there's any questions you think could help all students, you can kind of put the class question in here to ask. Now also in the assignments, so right now all you see is the homeworks and you see the industry project assignments that are coming up. Let me just show you that there are exam 1 and 2 will pop up. Exam 1 will appear after July 25th, and then exam 2 will appear after August 15th. And then you can work on these 2 exams. And the exams are, let me just see something here. So for example, this exam 1, it's going to open up on the 25th and it's going to close up on the 29th. So I give you a couple of days to complete each exam. And that's going to be detailed a little bit more heavily in the, when you look at the, I'll send you a weekly announcement, but if you look at the announcements, it will give you a heads up on, if you look at the, so for week 3, it'll say the exam opens up on, I gotta adjust that, it'll open up, it'll give you the dates the exam opens up and closes for both of the midterm and final exam. And they'll have those, so when you go, don't rely on the video 100% for all your due dates. Go to the actual Blackboard, read the actual announcements, because everything will be perfected on the actual Blackboard. So this video is just to give you an idea where things are. Always use the actual Blackboard to see the due dates, to see the assignments, and submit all your assignments. So let's just go over this again. When you're starting this class for the first time, you want to log in, watch this video to its full completion, read the syllabus, review the course documents. Maybe you want to download some of the PowerPoints, look over some of the stock analysis examples, and start working on the assignments. Any questions you have, feel free to ask in this discussion board here. Now, when you are working on the class, keep in mind this schedule I put together to give you an idea of what videos and what chapters to read each week and what homework to complete each week. And when you are working on, there's one important thing I want to show you, that when you're working on the stock analysis paper, and specifically when you're completing the stock database, you're going to need to use the Hoover's database to get all the data that you're going to put into your Excel. So in order to do that, you have to click on Library Resources. And this is going to take you to the University Library Resources. And when you click on Databases, and then the letter H, and you want to scroll down to Hoover's Academic Database. Sign in using your login for Stony Brook, and you have to do this through the Stony Brook login. You can't just go to the website directly, because we pay for the database and you're getting elements inside this database that you're not going to get if you just go to the Hoover's website directly. So you get all this database information. So we're going to hit continue, and then you're going to put in, you can put in your company, maybe it's McDonald's, so you type in the here we go, McDonald's restaurant. There's a few McDonald's in here. Let's see, there's too many of those. Let me put in something simpler like Starbucks. Okay, Starbucks Corporation. So it comes up with Starbucks Corporation, and then you want to go to financials. And you would go to, you can go to each of them separately, balance sheet, income statement. So click on balance sheet, and then you want to work with the annual data, which is already set to annual data. Now here you're going to have to highlight, control copy, and then you would just paste this into Excel like that. They used to have a handy download to Excel button, but now you have to kind of cut and paste directly into Excel for each of the sections. So a little tedious, but it's an easy way to get this data that you need for the assignment into Excel like that. And they used to have a download option, which they no longer have that. So you have to kind of cut and paste out of here to get the financial data that you're going to need to complete the stock Excel database. So I'm going over this Hoover's database to make sure that the most common mistake is that people, they don't log in through the library. You have to use this library resources and then select the Hoover's database. And then it's going to ask you for your net ID and password. So we get access to the proprietary database here that you can't get directly through the Hoover's website. And then you can use this to download, to cut and paste the information that you'll need to complete your stock analysis. So that's just an important thing I wanted to kind of point out here. Okay, so at this point, if you have any other questions about how to complete this course, please feel free to use the discussion board class questions here or email me directly. Thank you and good luck with the course. I hope everybody does very well.